3.2. Task 3.2 is on quality. So here's some ideas around quality, but they're not that useful from the response, more from our discussion in class. The question is, for part 1, how would you manage for quality in the justice management role? And how could you ensure that you're delivering best quality service? Well, you could consider some of these concepts there, but basically you would be wanting to determine what is our purpose. So what standard do we need to deliver? And then we need to monitor to ensure that we're delivering that standard. So the way you could monitor is by having KPIs, so quantities. So what is our response time to jobs? What percentage of crimes are we solving? Those sorts of things. How long is it taking us on average to do that? How many speeding motorists are we capturing, fining per week? These sorts of things. Could be one way. Other things you could do if you're delivering an internal service is to do a survey where you ask for attitudes towards your service and how it's being done. Another way could be to also capture the ad hoc feedback. So if someone makes a complaint or if someone sends a thank you email or phone call, just log it in a system and you can analyse that and determine the quality from that. But the survey will help you also reassess what quality you should be delivering. So you can have questions like, how long do you see us as taking to perform this for your organisation, for your unit? How long would you like it to be? Those sorts of things. So you just need to describe that. So about determining the standard, monitoring it, and then reassessing whether that is the standard down the track. The next part is the idea of, the next one is risk management. So what you need to do is use a table like this one, which I've given you in the handout, so you can even cut and paste from that table to reuse the table. This is just a simple risk register table. You might choose to take manage risk as a subject, and we'll do it a bit more complicated, but it's not massively different to this one. We'll just have a lot more discussion around the process. But all I need from you is to identify a risk. Just make sure, I ask you to do it for the police sidearm change. So they went from a pistol to a revolver. And I ask you to identify some risks. So an example could be officer unable to remove safety catch due to unfamiliarity of the weapon in a heated moment. So when it's the adrenaline's flowing, it can be harder to sort of remember something you've just learned, and you might be trying to do it in the way you did with your old weapon that you've been using for a long time. How likelihood of that? It's probably low, but you might want to call it so low. And what would be the impact? The impact could be, the weapon's unable to be used to protect life, which is the way it should be used. So maybe someone could be harmed, or the officer could be harmed because they weren't practiced enough to be able to remove the safety catch and fire. The mitigation could be to offer more training. Another risk, the new weapon has many more rounds, so it has 4 extra rounds in the magazine. It can even have more. And it has a much faster rate of fire, and they're actually slightly more powerful bullets as well. So you might have that they don't respond appropriately. Maybe they overuse force because they've got more firepower available. The likelihood, you could say, let's just say medium for that one. We're just using a scale. The impact, just describe, that could cause damage to police reputation. It could have the officer being charged or reprimanded. It could have someone, who might be killed rather than otherwise. So how can we minimise the likelihood of that? Well, we could review our standard responses to situations and align them with the firepower of our new weapon. So there's some different things that you might consider. There's many more risks, but I'm more interested in seeing that you know how to use the table. So that's risk management. So it's all in this handout, and you'll be receiving a digital copy of the handout.